Hey everybody, am I live? Yes, I am live. All right, haven't made a video in a bit here, so I am going to make a little video today. It's not going to be a long one because I'm doing it outside and it's a hot, steamy day. There's not much of a breeze here in South Carolina, and we'll see how long I last out here. Sometime I start rambling though. You know how I get. I start to make longer videos than I had planned on. Hey, Litecoin Perosi, how are you, LTC? And Steven, thanks for logging on without any notice here. So I usually like to wait till this gets to about the 1 minute mark before I start talking about what I want to talk about. And we're almost there. We're at 52 seconds. So let's just give it a couple more seconds here to see if anybody else wants to log into the live stream before I get started. All right, we got Scottish, and I'm in the sun here, and it's really hard to see my computer. Michael, hey, thanks for logging in from Texas. All right, and the Scottish Bull, I can't read it, Bull 80 from Scotland. Okay, very cool. We got some people from all over the country and all over the world here logging in. Well, thanks for logging in, and I'm just going to jump right into it here. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is the thing that pretty much every single cryptocurrency person has talked about. I just want to give my take on it. And it's about the Donald Trump tweet about saying how he is not a fan of cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So I've heard this covered on some different channels with some different angles. My angle is similar, but it's a little bit different probably than most. My take on it is that, all right, so Donald Trump nominated a woman named Judy Shelton to the Federal Reserve Board. And Judy Shelton said that she is looking to have like a gold-like standard applied to the US dollar. Now, when she said that, she wasn't referring to just gold or just silver. I personally believe she is referring to things like cryptocurrencies as well. And I think she even mentioned that. And from what I understand, she is a fan of cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, and the like. So Trump nominates this woman who is pro cryptocurrency, pro backing the dollar by a variety of things of value, such as gold and cryptocurrencies. So Trump comes on and says this. Now, automatically people in power are going to push back against this woman because they like things just the way they are. They like to devaluate the dollar. They like inflation. They like the way that their system is run. It's been run this way for over 50 years. They can manipulate money and people and companies with the dollar, gaining and losing value, the way that it's set up. So how does Trump get this person nominated to actually get assigned to the board, the Federal Reserve Board, without them worrying that he is going to be pro crypto? He's got to say something negative about crypto. And if you have followed Donald Trump at all, especially over his presidency, you'll see that this is pretty much how he works. He'll either compliment people until it comes down to the, what they say, the true grit of it, where he's got to actually do the pushback. But he tries to be friendly with them, he's a great guy. He's a wonderful person, blah, blah, blah. He says that about everybody. Even Kim Jong-il, who we all know is not a great person. But he does this to kind of get them, it's part of negotiating. You can't go in and say, this guy is a terrible tyrant. He should be destroyed and kicked out of his country. Do you think Kim Jong-il would ever have a conversation with him if he said that? He's smart in a way that you may think is a little bit underhanded or devious, but it's the only way to get things to work out in your favor. And he's a businessman, and his whole life he's had to negotiate with people, and you can't go into a negotiation telling people that you hate them and they're terrible. All that's going to cause is a wall to go up, animosity, and you're not going to get anywhere. So that's one of his first things he does. He compliments people until it comes down to the nitty gritty, and then it's time to play hardball and iron it out so it works out. So basically everybody's happy. So I think the same thing's going on with this Federal Reserve Board. It's like him going in and saying, like say he had a baseball team and he says, I really, really want to win this game, but he starts all of his worst players. You know what I mean? Or it could be just the opposite. This game doesn't mean that much to me. If we lose it, it's okay. We're still in first place, you know. But then he plays all his best players and his ace pitcher, you know. It's kind of like flipping the script on people, trying to catch them off guard. And I think that's maybe what's going on here with his tweet about cryptocurrencies, just according to who he nominated to the Federal Reserve. And that's basically all I wanted to say about that, because I think people have already been talking about that on their channels. Two other things I wanted to cover that I think are kind of important, and I haven't heard anybody talk about them. And I hate to talk about bad news, and especially with Litecoin, because there is a lot of good news also. But if you haven't heard, and actually I think it was Stuart Ogilvy, one of the people, and I think you're on here right now, Stuart. Are you the one? I believe you're the one who said that Charlie Lee had an interview. It was about 3 or 4 days ago. I actually looked at it, where he states that Litecoin could see a pretty big drop in price after the halving. And I looked at that, and I didn't hear anything about that. I haven't heard anybody else talk about it. But you can actually Google search Charlie Lee talks about Litecoin price drop after halving. The reason he gives is, and he said it could happen. He didn't say it's definitely going to happen, but we all know when Charlie Lee talks, you know, he said that Bitcoin could go down to 3,000, and it did. You know, when Charlie Lee talks about price, he seems to be very accurate. And he said because of the halving, mining Litecoin is going to become much more difficult, at least in the beginning. And he said miners may actually turn off their mining machines until the algorithm resets, and then the mining will become easier again, because that's kind of how the whole algorithm is set up. It's set up, you know, to make it, when there's not as many people mining, it becomes easier to mine. When there's a lot of people mining, it becomes more difficult to mine. And when the halving occurs, the mining process is going to be as difficult as when they were getting double the reward for mining. But now the reward is going to be cut in half, but the mining difficulty is going to remain the same. Now, eventually, it will drop down and equal out to the reward for mining will equal out to you know, the time. I got a bee flying around here. Sorry, guys. You know, so that could cause a dip in the Litecoin price. And he said that should last from 3 to 9 days before the algorithm returns, and you know, it becomes more profitable to mine. So I did want to mention that. You know, I just don't want to come on here and just give you all a rosy picture every time, you know, that we do cryptocurrency videos. And most of the time I'm upbeat. And this is not going to be a long-term effect of the halving, because after the halving, of course, the supply will be cut. And if the demand remains strong, then the price should continue to go up. And I've posted in a lot of my past videos that you'll see after the halving of Litecoin that you will see a dip in price, and then it goes up to reach new highs, which will happen again. I have very strong opinion. This is not financial advice, but that just seems to be the pattern that Litecoin has. And I guess that is because of the miners and the mining difficulty, and the reward is cut in half, but the mining is still difficult. So until the algorithm straightens it out, you'll see up to a 9-day time frame when it's difficult to mine before that levels out, and then we should see upward traction again. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick here, and again, not to bring anybody down, but just to keep it real. I actually thought Litecoin was going to make more of a move pre-halving. I know it has made a tremendous move from $30 up over $1,000, up to the price where it is today, $100. But I was anticipating that even a larger move, especially the closer that we got to the halving. It does not look like at this point, in my opinion at least, that we're going to see it until after the halving. It's almost like we're in the summertime blues here. It's like people have had some profits in their Bitcoin, their Litecoin, Ethereum, and especially people that are new or people that have been in cryptos for a while. It's kind of hard to have your money tied up for a couple of years, because anyone who's hodled has hodled through the whole year down, and now they're starting to recover some of their losses. Maybe some people are starting to see some profitability, especially if they bought all the way down into the low. And now it's time, like, hey, it's been almost 2 years now, and my money's been tied up, and I've got a little bit of profits. I haven't been able to afford to do anything because I've been losing money all year, and now I'm finally got my head above water for a while. And it's summertime. The kids are off from school. You know what? We're going to go on a vacation. We're going to enjoy some of this money. And I think some people are pulling, some money off here and there. We're talking about just the retail investors and, the consumers like you and I. They want to enjoy their life too, and I can't blame people for that. I was like, at the point where, crypto kept going down, and I was buying all the way down. I bought all the way at the bottom. Luckily, I was able to buy a good, a decent chunk at the bottom. And now it's starting to go up. And, I didn't want to sell my cryptos when I was losing money, because like you said, you don't lose until you sell at a loss. And I'm hoping that, it'll hit those highs, those all-time highs. And I really still don't plan on selling anything major, maybe a coin here and there for a little treat, but nothing major. I'm planning to make this life-changing, not just to spend it all the way up and then basically be back in the same boat I was, before I started buying cryptocurrencies. So my goal is really to have it be life-changing type of money, especially as I get into my older years, into retirement. I'd like to have something to fall back on rather than spend it as it goes all the way up. So that's my reason for what I do with my cryptos. Everybody has a reason, and I think right now people just, they're justifying, hey, it's time for me to, do an improvement to the house, take the family on a vacation. We're probably going to go out to eat more. Things like that. And I think people have pulled some cryptocurrencies off of the market here. It's July, we're in the middle of the summer. So I think that's one of the things that's going on here. Other news about Litecoin, which I'm sure you have all heard as well, is the Miami Dolphins have made Litecoin their official cryptocurrency. So why do we see companies like AT&T, gambling companies, Miami Dolphins? What I think is going on here is I think a lot of companies are weighing the risk reward for owning cryptocurrencies, right? So I think they see all the upside potential. And as time goes on, as we see more and more companies accepting, especially Bitcoin and Litecoin for payment, that we see more and more companies adding this because they see the value in it. So instead of actually opening up their pocketbooks, that they have to show their shareholders and say, yes, as part of our strategy, we invested in cryptocurrencies or Bitcoin. And, most of the time, I'd say 95% of the time, if you're AT&T, you can't tell your investors that we went out and we purchased Bitcoin or Litecoin, because their investors would be like, what the heck are we investing in AT&T for? We'll just go ahead and invest in Bitcoin and Litecoin as well. And your business model is to be a telephone company and telecommunications company and cable provider, not an investment company. You're not a hedge fund. You're not a mutual fund. You are a communications company, right? So they still want to have the Bitcoin and the Litecoin in their possession, but they can't actually go out and buy it. Now, they're going to do things that are not costing them any money, but they're going to be able to accumulate Bitcoin and Litecoin at the same time. And as they see Bitcoin and Litecoin go up in value, they will become a richer company. So, for example, when AT&T has already laid all their cable lines or their high def lines or whatever they're running in, in the neighborhood or established neighborhoods that have already been there for 10 years, they've already paid for most of that labor and the equipment to be laid. It's already there. The infrastructure is in place. Basically, the only thing they need to do is send somebody out and connect it to your house. If it's, when they had landline phones, all they had to do was flip a button and your phone was turned on and they gave you a new phone number. So once the infrastructure is in place, there's not a lot of expense that goes out. Now it's the income phase. And to have people pay in Bitcoin and Litecoin doesn't really cost them anything, because they have enough people paying with fiat where they can pay their technicians and, for repairs and things like that. But now as a small percentage still pay in Bitcoin and Litecoin, they can take that money and they can bank it. And I think that's what we're seeing in a lot of companies that already have infrastructure laid, that they don't really need to come up with capital, to start a business. They're already in business and they can start collecting cryptos and hoarding them. They're hodlers themselves, just like we are, right? These big companies are going to become hodlers of cryptocurrencies, and it's mainly going to be Bitcoin and Litecoin because those are the ones that they're accepting. I believe if they accept less known cryptocurrencies or cheaper ones, those will probably just trade in for fiat. But ones that are going to retain and increase in value simply because of supply and demand, and the halving is a perfect example of that, is why we're going to see these companies continue to do this. They're not really going to risk anything, but they're going to take the cryptos and use them for their own personal gain as they increase in value. So let me just look through the comments here real quick. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, depending on where you are. Scottish Bulldog says, look into Nash. I have not looked into Nash myself, so I have no opinion on that, but maybe I'll check that out and comment on you after the video is complete here. Trump tweets is a bye-bye signal. Haha. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people are taking that opinion. A lot of people that are straight up Trump supporters may initially take that as don't buy crypto, but you know what? As we know, 95% of people aren't buying cryptos anyway. And Trump is famous for changing his opinion on things. So he may very well come out and change his opinion on cryptos. But he's got to do this to get his nominee for the Federal Reserve in place. He's got to put a negative, an outward negative opinion on the cryptos. So I think that's what he's doing. Hey, I could be wrong, but that just seems to be the pattern that Trump follows. Just got a chill, Joe. Haha. From Scott Kidd. All right. Love some ETH. Yeah, right now the only things I do have 2 altcoins, not much in them, Smartlands and Nexo, and basically Bitcoin, Litecoin, and Ethereum. Shah, you say you are number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. I'm number one. Well, I don't know. There may be other people who have different opinions of that, but I just try to tell you what I feel from the heart is going on. I don't really want to sugarcoat stuff too much. Just want to give my opinion if you like it or not. At least I try to speak the truth. I don't try to play games and manipulate things for the benefit of what I want to happen. ETH is definitely going to be big. Here, when Ben said earlier on his video, he was right. I'm not a fan of Trump, but I also think he hates crypto. And you never know. Maybe Trump is just coming out and being flat out obvious, saying what is on his brain, which a lot of people like to give the spin, especially, people who oppose Trump, that he's stupid and that he just says whatever is on his mind like a 3-year-old child, which obviously he wouldn't be a billionaire and he wouldn't be the president of the United States if he did that. But that's my take on it, okay? That's all I'm going to say about that, because I know a lot of people don't like me talking politics on here. I will probably start another channel for that. MC Tar Heel put up something here, and I can't read it, and I guess it's been flagged. I don't know if it has a link to something. I can't read it. I'm outside here, but I can't see it, so I'm going to just pass that by for the moment. Charlie Lee sold his Litecoin. It's tough not to believe his price prediction on Litecoin. Yeah, that's what I mean. I actually sold some of my Litecoin after I read that news, and I actually posted that on the comment in my video. I'm just going to wait and see. I didn't sell all of it by any means. Trust me, I sold a small portion of it just to see if there's a chance to buy more at a cheaper price. But you know me, I'm a Litecoin fan. I'm a Litecoin lover. And I love me Litecoin. And I'm going to hold on to it. But I did sell a little bit for the only reason that I'm greedy for more Litecoin. So if Charlie Lee is right and the price does take a hit, I'll be in position to scoop up some more at lower prices. And if he's wrong, I'll be happy that I still have the Litecoin that I have. And I'll just take the money that I used to sell the Litecoin with. I actually put it into Bitcoin, and I'll just swap it back into Litecoin. Hodling is the best strategy for the future. Absolutely. In my opinion, not financial advice, but cryptocurrencies only have one way to go overall, and that's upward. And that's only because the supply and demand, especially, I shouldn't say cryptocurrencies, I should say Bitcoin, Litecoin, even Ethereum does a thirdening, which is similar to the halving, where they reduce their supply by a third. Yeah. Miami Dolphins news is pretty big. It is pretty big. Litecoin has done a great job at marketing. They are one of the only cryptocurrencies that is really going out there and trying to reach, get their name in front of everyday ordinary people. So the more I look at Litecoin, I do believe that they will be used as a means of exchange until there comes a time when, maybe after next halving, when the supply becomes even more dwindled, there will be people who hodl it, like myself, because we will see the value increase over time. Yeah, the Dolphins, everything that Litecoin does is out there getting in front of people. I don't see any other cryptocurrencies do that. Litecoin has a great group of followers that are so pro Litecoin, they're willing to take out their personal time to go out and introduce it and talk to people and businesses. And that's something else I don't really see in any other cryptocurrency. And I believe that that alone is going to help propel Litecoin to new heights. Dumb people are selling now. Marcus, Yeah, it's like I said, I just think it's those summertime blues where people are bored, their kids are driving them nuts, they're at home, they've got nothing to do, they're staring at each other, and they've got maybe thousands, who knows, thousands of dollars in Bitcoin, which just went up to 13,000 or 12,000, and they bought it at 6,000. They're like, you know what? Screw it. I'm just going to sell some of my Bitcoin, and we're going to go to the beach this weekend, or you know, or my wife's been bugging me about, putting a deck on the house. We're going to go ahead and do that. So, I think that's what's going on right now. And the money's getting sucked out a little bit here and there, but it will return. We have all these big financial institutions coming in very soon. We're looking at, I think, September, uh, November, right in that time frame. And once those things go live, I really don't see there being too many major corrections because I think the influx of money is going to be pretty consistent. Um, let's see, Scott Kidd. He hasn't spoke about a price specifically since last year when he said it would hit 20. An article. Well, he did say it's gonna. He says it could. Doesn't mean it's going to, but he said it could take a drop. I just would recommend y'all Google the article. And I did make a comment on, not this video, of course, because I'm making it live, but the one before. I believe it was Steven who brought it to my attention, and I commented. You could read my comment on that as well. But yeah, usually when Charlie Lee speaks, he's usually very, very accurate. Terry Joe, there he is. I'm back, right? It's been a while. Guys, I've been working a lot, and I just seem like I'm spinning my wheels. Just haven't really been making that much money. It's like one of those things where you do something and then there's a problem or something breaks or you need new equipment, and it's just like you make money and then you spend it on stuff that you weren't anticipating. So I've been kind of spinning my wheels, wearing myself out, but still trying to stay active in the cryptos. And I will be honest with you guys, I have not followed altcoins much ever since Binance announced that they were going to stop US from trading in, was it going to be September 10th? And everyone who's anticipating a big alt season, not financial advice, guys, I just don't see it. I don't see it happening with these exchanges that are not going to be allowing Americans to trade. Unless it's on a major exchange or it gets put on a major exchange, I just don't see altcoins having a major rally unless they really, really have some kind of groundbreaking announcement or technology or platform coming out, or they get introduced and they're going to be brought onto a Binance, a Gemini, one of the major exchanges that are open to Americans as well as people from other countries. If you're not from America, I'm not trying to say like America is the end all be all, but the fact of the matter is that 50% of all cryptocurrencies are purchased by Americans, even though the percentage of Americans that buy cryptocurrencies compared to other nations may be smaller. It's just the ones that are going in with more money, and they're the ones that are influencing 50% of the market. How could you invest in something that 50% of the market is going to be not able to invest in? So I just don't see altcoins having this big, this big run that a lot of people are talking about. When's altcoin season? I think some altcoins will go up gradually, but they're not going to go up the percentage that we saw in the past bull market, the end of 2017. I personally don't see it. I want more Litecoin, LOL. Scott Kidd. Yeah, Scott. Again, not financial advice. Prices are, pretty low right now. At, I think last I checked, they're 103, 104. I would, it's never a bad time to buy, but personally, I'm going to wait with my money on the sidelines until after this halving, and I'm going to see if Charlie Lee is right, and I want to see if I can buy up even more. I think that, I'm just going to wait and see. 33,000 million millionaires global, or half a Bitcoin each. Yeah, guys, right now, that's when I took my money out of Litecoin, I put it into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is it right now. Bitcoin is the shizzle. You know what I mean? There's less Bitcoin than Litecoin. The halving there is still a year away, but it's just so highly anticipated already. The hype is being built around Bitcoin's halving. Not many people are talking about Litecoin's halving, but everybody's talking about Bitcoin halving. Everyone who's in cryptocurrencies, at least. And people that are not in cryptocurrencies, the only cryptocurrency they've ever heard of is Bitcoin. Now they're starting to learn about Litecoin and some of these other ones, but Bitcoin is the one that the majority of people know about. And if they're going to invest, they're going to go into Bitcoin. Yeah, pipe dream from 2017. That's just the way I'm seeing it right now, Terry. I just, it's like, say you wanted to advertise on a radio station, right? And you could, there's all these different radio stations to choose from. These would be all your altcoins. But then you got your major ones that have the clearest reception, that are the most popular, that play the best music, that have the best DJs, blah, blah, blah. Those are the ones you'd like to advertise with to begin with. But there is a chance that one of these smaller radios, rumor is that they're going to be putting up a new antenna and going to be able to broadcast, and they're going to be able to reach more people. So maybe you want to risk some of your advertising dollars and put it with that station. Or you hear they're going to get a new DJ, or they're going to change their format and play some more popular music and get more listeners. So you're thinking about investing your advertising dollars, because the big ones are very expensive to advertise with already, and you can get a lot more advertising time with these cheaper stations that are a little bit staticky, or they don't reach as many people with that hope that they're going to. But now all of a sudden you find out that half of the people, they have a new signal that's going out, and half of the people will not be able to listen to any of those alternative stations, except they'll only be able to listen to the big ones. Well, now are you going to put your money into those alternative stations? For me, it would be difficult to. I'd rather reach some people than nobody. And that's my analogy on altcoins right now, with their ability not to be traded with Americans. Give me your opinion on Ethereum. Ethereum, I do like Ethereum. I know there's been videos out, some people saying Ethereum is going to be good, some people saying Ethereum is going to die. I think with the halving and the restructuring of Ethereum that went on earlier this year, that is what they needed to do to stay relevant. If they didn't do that, I think eventually Ethereum would have died out. But now I believe with that change, you're able to do work off chain. You're able to use other scripts to create platforms on Ethereum. And that was my biggest knock on Ethereum was JavaScript is the most popular script that almost every computer programmer knows how to use. And that's what a lot of these new blockchain smart contract platforms were being built, and people coming into it were going to be able to use JavaScript. But with Ethereum, you had to learn Ethereum's special programming language. And if you didn't know it, you had to take classes, you had to learn it, blah, blah, blah. Very difficult to hire programmers to build and work on your platform if you have to hire people who know how to use a special, or train people. It's just not cost effective to have to train people to learn a new programming language. And JavaScript, they all already know. So they've changed that. They've have some big connections with some major players. The only real knock I have on Ethereum right now would be that they don't really have many things other than gambling platforms that people are using. If Ethereum was smart, what they would do is start to maybe work on or dedicate some of their own funds to research platforms that will be popular and be successful other than gambling. I don't care if it's a game. I don't care if it's a technology. I don't care if they have to buy or partner with another cryptocurrency that's doing something different. and give that cryptocurrency some sort of benefit. I think that would be very smart of Ethereum, because when the Cardanos eventually, who knows when, become relevant, if Ethereum is also does a thirding now, which is big, supply and demand going down. So I think for the short term, for the next couple of years, you're going to be safe in Ethereum. I never say never or always for anything, So, things change as time go on is what I'm trying to say. I shouldn't say never say always for anything, because I am married and I plan on that being forever and always. But technology changes, times change, demands change. So right now, I think Ethereum is a safe bet. They're also going to do something which is huge that I think will keep people faithful to Ethereum, and that is they are going to be. Now I'm having a brain freeze here, but kind of like a dividend. When you own Ethereum, you be able to collect a dividend off of it, and that to me is huge, because what good is, people want to have their cryptocurrencies, but you know how we are when we have our cryptocurrencies, we don't want to give them up. So let's say you hold Ethereum and it went up and you needed some money. You don't really want to sell your Ethereum, but now Ethereum is going to give you money every quarter, every year, whatever. Now you can take that money and you can use it to spend, instead of spending your core base of Ethereum that you want to have. Because eventually if you spend it, eventually it'll be gone, right? And you maybe want to hand it down to your kids. Maybe you want it to last your whole lifetime, whatever your plans are. But I know how hodlers are. If you're like me, you hate to sell your cryptocurrencies. And I think when Ethereum starts spinning off and giving you money, that, that's what you'll use. And I think that's going to be one of the big things for cryptocurrencies that people are going to like. That's the one reason I like Nexo, is they pay a dividend. I think now it's going to be twice a year. And that's really the only reason I'm in Nexo. I see it has some upward potential, but really for the dividend, I like having guaranteed money coming in. And I think people are not going to want to sell their cryptocurrencies. They're going to go into ones that have guaranteed dividend payouts. The simplest way to put it, it's a dividend. Yeah, at 32 Ethereum, you'll be able to, have your own node, and but you'll be able to go into pools with less than the 32. I think it could be any amount. You'll be able to join a pool, but at least 5. You need research Ethereum more. I do need to research it more. You're right. I haven't really researched it since the beginning of the year, but please, Scottish Bulldog, if you have anything that you want to add. Yeah, staking is what I'm talking about. That's the dividend staking. I agree with Litecoin BTC ratio will be down. Yeah, I think that the gap will close. I just think everybody's so Bitcoin crazy right now that, and it is a lot scarcer than Litecoin. I made this analogy before. I'll make it again. Let's say you're at a party and there's 2 vending machines, right? Or 2 bartenders. One of them serves out the Bitcoin drink very slowly, and one serves out Litecoin drinks and serves out more of them quicker, right? So they're both good. So let's say there's only 3 people at the party. They're both different drinks, and say people want to get this Bitcoin drink. Well, 3 people are online for this Bitcoin drink, and here comes one out, and one person gets it. Now the other people have to wait and wait and wait and wait and wait. But meanwhile, you've got the Litecoin drink, and it's coming out and it's coming out. Now 5 or 6 Litecoin drinks are out there sitting on the bar for people to drink. And there's only 2 people left to drink them, right? So they're not as in demand as the Bitcoin drink is. And then they see the Bitcoin drink come out. Just because it's in demand, that person's going to jump off the Litecoin line and get the Bitcoin drink, right? And then a couple more people come into the party. Now, eventually, there's going to be so many people into crypto, so many people at this party, where there's not going to be enough Bitcoin to go out, or Litecoin, even if they are serving out, 5 times the amount of Litecoin drink as Bitcoin drink. There's 1,000 people at the party, so even those 5 Litecoin drinks aren't going to be enough. And that's when you're going to see the Litecoin price go up. That's my analogy on Litecoin and the bar. I like to give these analogies. They're kind of fun. I don't know. Guys, comment down below. Let me know what you think about my analogies, if they make sense or not. But anyway, guys, it's a 40-minute video. I don't really like to go too much longer than that. Like I said to start this video, it's hot out here. There is no breeze, and it's over 90 degrees. And you can probably see the sweat starting to come through my shirt here. So guys, please like the video. Please subscribe to my channel. That will encourage me to make videos more often and more regularly, because I don't get paid to make these. It's the encouragement from you guys is what keeps me going. So I definitely appreciate the thumbs up, the likes, the subscribes. If you can share it somehow, I appreciate that as well. You've heard my opinions today, but that's somebody coming to deliver me something. So I'm going to log out, but please, guys, kiss your wife, kiss your girlfriend, kiss your husband, your boyfriend, hug your kids, pet your pets. God bless each and every one of you. Joe Knows Cryptos signing off. Have a great rest of your weekend, guys. See you soon. Bye-bye.